Well, there are a couple of movies and shows out on Netflix and Apple TV. Uh, the other day, I saw this on Apple TV. It's a show about the Blitz. Now, the Blitz in England in the 40s during World War II was the air raids. Germany would fly over and bomb London. At the beginning of the war, they were kind of being cool with like London because even Hitler, even literally Hitler, like wasn't really keen on destroying architecture and cultures, unless of course they were Jews. But Hitler wasn't all gung ho about leveling London. Hitler was a great fan of architecture, and leveling cities was not his bag, man. And Churchill apparently wanted Hitler to start bombing London so they could get more sympathy from countries that weren't involved in the war yet, like the United States. And he just wasn't biting. So Churchill and the RAF were really, they kind of bombed Germany first, bombed Berlin. And then they're like, okay, I guess we got to bomb London. When they started bombing London, a lot of families and kids there in jolly old London back then, and they were actually English, not Muslims and Pakis like now. They were English. So they took the little kids in London, and the parents had to be like, okay, cheerio. See you after the war then. And they sent their kids off into the country, the countryside of England, various places without, were inconsequential as far as the war goes. So they weren't going to drop bombs on them. So the kids would be safer. So they did that. And there have been movies about that. I mean, we've seen a lot of World War II movies, and that's been subject of a lot of movies. Well, there's a new one out called The Blitz, and it's on Apple TV. And this one's just a little different because it's a black kid, a little black kid that's being taken out of the country by, a black civil defense gentleman. Now, there's the picture on the right of the TV, the show on Apple TV. And then on the left, you'll see a more accurate depiction of what was going on. A white civil defense guy and a white child being rescued by the person. Were there any black people? I'm sure there were. Black people were all over. Not as bad as it is now, but they were everywhere. I'm sure they were. But to focus a movie around that, using the black angle on such a white historical event, is, again, cultural appropriation, I guess. The blackening of history, blackwashing history. This one is made by Steve McQueen. No, now hold on, folks. Not the cool white Great Escape Steve McQueen. No, the black Steve McQueen. How does he get to call himself Steve fucking McQueen? Don't you have to do something like change the name because it's the same as someone else's name? Isn't that why Michael J. Fox is Michael J. Fox? There's a Michael Fox. And then Michael J. Fox comes along and goes, oh, I'm an actor. I belong to Screen Actors Guild and everything. And like, we already got a Michael Fox. All right, I'm Michael J. Fox. And then he turns out to be more famous than Michael Fox. There's a Jim Norton. There's a Jim Norton actor. And I think he's English. He's some guy, been in a couple of movies. And Jim Norton's like, yeah, I got to be like Jimmy Norton or something. So Steve McQueen, it's just some black guy. And he's got the name of arguably the coolest white actor ever. So there's some appropriation right there. motherfucker. Can you find the trailer for the Blitz? I didn't include it in my preparation there, Ryan.
No probo.
Oh, it's so bubbly. Those Mexicans, they know how to bring fentanyl across the border and make really good bubble water. Yeah, it was like a CD. Well, that's English. I know here there was a CD. And it was put together. Yeah, there it is. All right, maybe it's accurate there with yeah, it was a little helmet. I like that little end joke for you. Yeah, so this is just another one of these. Okay, let's see. Let's watch along. See what the story's about. Steve McQueen, Academy Award winner Steve McQueen. Fucking
What is your name?
black guy stole this.
George.
So how the hell did you end up here?
Oh boy. Apple Original Film. Eggplant Films presents Moulignan Production.
Sent me away.
She did it to keep you safe.
Your son did not arrive at his destination.
You're responsible for his safety. Why can't you tell me? Where's my boy?
Uh-oh, is she a coal burner?
This is for all the parents whose children have been evacuated, and for my boy, George.
This just looks... Oh, of course. Black singing and dancing. I don't know. Looks dull. You gotta black it up. They gotta black that shit up. World War II was black, motherfucker.
One wish.
Blitz. Written and directed by the black Steve McQueen. They should have to put the black Steve McQueen. I know Steve McQueen's dead, but you just see his name and you think of the cool movies. Bullet, right? Yeah. Earthquake or Towering Inferno, whichever. One was an earthquake, one was fire. Same movie. Yeah. And of course, Papillon. Papillon. Steve McQueen. Not black guy Steve McQueen. He stole the name. Some fucking guy should be like, a white guy should just call himself Martin Luther King. Yeah, Martin Luther King. I'm a director. My name's Martin Luther King. I bet they'd be very angry at that. Well, we're angry. I'm speaking for all white people right now. We're angry that you're calling yourself Steve McQueen and you're a black guy. I don't agree with that. Fucker. Well, it doesn't end there, folks. It doesn't end there. Because as we saw in Hidden Figures, remember the movie Hidden Figures? 3 black women are responsible for the entire space program. If it wasn't for 3 black women, we never would have gone to the moon, no space shuttle, no anything. Elon Musk would be in South Africa right now fighting off savages that are trying to steal his copper wiring from his house. 3 black women saved the space program. Well, how about this? A bunch of black women won World War II. Couldn't have won without him. Here is a movie. It is called The 6888. The 6888, which I guess is their division, their whatever. And it's made by Tyler Perry. This isn't Medea Goes to Germany. Medea Goes to the Front. This is a Tyler Perry World War II black woman movie. And you won't believe how they won single-handedly. Black women won the war. But they'll be crowing about this like they did about saving the space program. Play the trailer. Let's watch.
Soldiers, I am Captain Charity Adams. Welcome to the Women's Army Corps.
Delma,
And
My
Big
wife and
M.
I have been talking about the problems we are having with the mail and our soldiers' morale.
Mr. President, this assignment has proven to be a logistical nightmare. Even tried the Women's Army Corps.
You mean the White Women's Army?
Oprah! Oh, no, you didn't. Based on.
Adams, you and the 6th AAA Battalion are headed to Europe.
Should you open it?
The Postal Battalion?
They think the only thing we good for is deliver some damn mail.
Yeah.
Would
What
like
else are
to
you
see all
going to
the
do?
hangars, ma'am?
How many are there?
All of them.
Oh my God. Ladies, we have been ordered to provide hope. The soldiers have not heard from their loved ones.
They're
Loved
not
ones
going to be
have
able to
not heard
fight
from them.
unless they get a letter.
When there is no mail, there is low morale.
6th AAA Battalion! Forward march!
This is such forced event.
They did not send us because they thought we could do it. We are here because they are sure we cannot.
They? Who are they? Oh, evil white people.
We are no strangers to making a shack a home. We are at war, and when you are at war, you make do.
They made history. What? I've never heard of this.
Unlike some other folks here, we have the most to prove. Now is where you show the proof. This is our mission,
Embarrassing.
and we will not fail.
Company N. Whew. Whoa. And you know what really just blows that movie? The fact that like blacks watch this nonsense and they believe it. And they still have, and they keep coming up with the, on the shoulders of black women. Once again, we learned that World War II was won because of the black woman. And all we see them do these days is yelling at a McDonald's, throwing shit, getting kicked off airplanes. But, the media and movies and Steve McQueen and Tyler Perry, they want to present him as just invaluable to this country. This country would not be the America that we know and love without black women. Black. Bullshit. I consider myself sort of a World War II buff. I've watched and read a lot of stuff about the big one, WW2. I have never come across this huge battalion of negresses that delivered the mail. I don't know. Every time I saw a clip in the movie about mail call, it was some guy, D'Annunzio, here's your letter. Hey, Abrams, here you go. Smith, here's your letter. Oh, Kowalski. And then the guy goes, Kowalski didn't make it. He takes the letter and puts it down. I'll take that. I know his family. That's all I saw. Poor Kowalski. But now it's a whole thing. A whole shitload of negresses. And no mail was getting through to our boys overseas without a shitload of negress women. I don't buy it. I think this is one of those based on a true story, based on some historical speculation. Oh, God. But it'll be everywhere. It'll be the new truth, the new history. Wikipedia will change whatever they need to make it a thing. And, there it is. The triple fifths. Is that, what is this? It's supposed to be the triple. Oh, 3/5. Okay.
The triple fifths.
I thought maybe that was the book that it was based on.
The book is of the same title.
I got you. Yeah. So again, it's just this blackwashing of white history. They just can't stop doing it. And like I said, unfortunately, people just buy into this nonsense. Like Hidden Figures. There are people now that honestly believe that if it weren't for 3 fucking squat black women that they show in the movie. By the way, in real life, they weren't even black. I don't know what happened back then. It's like, oh, this is a black woman that did this. She looks like a white lady. I don't know. It's like a nerdy white woman. But, of course, in the movie, they got to make them, let me tell you something, Neil Armstrong. You ain't getting to the moon without my math. I know my math. Oh, okay. Neil Armstrong. Get that black lady. Who is that Negro woman? Get her up here so she can figure out how we're going to get to the moon. Oh, embarrassing. Same thing with this. I would hazard to guess that, logistically, getting mail to soldiers in a battle that is over an entire continent probably wasn't the easiest thing to do. Probably wasn't that easy. And I can imagine they were trying to get as many people as they could that weren't people you would send into combat or use in other things that would take, training. And it was probably a very small portion. Like they had a bunch of people doing this. And then one little portion was, all right, what are these black women doing? All right, get them. They could, write some numbers on these bags and make sure they get on the right plane going over to Europe. And they make it like, no morale. They'd have just been sitting around going, I haven't heard from my girlfriend in a month. I'm not even going to fuck this. Fucking Hitler, just kill me. But because of the Negro women, they got their letters from their family and they were like, we need to fight for America and save democracy. Thank you, Negroes. And that's how it's being portrayed. Whenever you see based on a true story, it's all horse shit. It's all horse shit. Unbelievable. All right. But it continues. I want a director named Martin Luther King, a white guy. That would be my favorite thing ever. Directed by Academy Award winner. Let's see. There are a few sources disputing the overall need for mail sorting, but some historians have raised the point that the number of pieces of mail may have been inflated or that the exact nature of the backlog might have been exaggerated. However, this remains a point of debate amongst those studying the logistics of wartime mail and the difficulties of sorting massive amounts of correspondence in a combat zone. There you go. So it's exaggerated. Which warehouse? All of the warehouses. Damn, nigga. How we gonna sort all that mail? Yeah, everything's got to be 211. And they got to have such an overinflated sense of worth in all of white history. White history. The Revolutionary War. If it wasn't for a Negro, a platoon of Negroes George Washington would have been dead. Oh, really? Civil War. You know, there were black men that fought in the Civil. All right, good. How about that? Couldn't be happier.